Hello, boys and girls. Lord Hawkeye here again. I'm sorry, been a long time. I've been lazy, made excuses, got distracted, all sorts of stuff. I'll try to do more these days, and I've got a couple topics I've written down that I want to talk about. For today, this is an argument a lot of you have probably heard before. Anarchy doesn't work because it requires everyone to be saints. Yeah, you may recall an individual I talked with on a video a long time ago actually said, you have just one evil person and the whole stateless society would be ruined. It would be terrible. Yeah, he seriously said that, with no degree of irony whatsoever. And I retorted that, and what if they get into government? Yeah, but of course that doesn't happen, right? Right. But let's go into that with a little more detail. Is that true? Could one evil person take down a stateless society? Well, let's just imagine. Imagine you've got a society, there's no government, and you've got one absolutely pure evil guy. He's just he's a total Saturday morning cartoon villain, just out to cause as much mayhem as he possibly can. Well, let's think about it. Let's say he's a serial killer. Absolutely just gets off on killing. Then nothing can talk him out of it. There's no redemption. Okay, so how much damage could this person potentially do? He could get a gun and shoot up your local mall. Yeah, that's entirely possible. Despite what some people say, I don't claim that stateless society would be a utopia. It wouldn't be. And yeah, it's entirely possible that stuff like that could happen in it. But the point is, so what? That happens now. So what exactly did statism prevent? It's the usual thing. And now I ask you to think of this. The serial killer, could he wage a war and devastate entire countries? Just wipe out, bomb entire cities, wipe out countries, absolutely just bomb them back into the Stone Age. Could any serial murder, or even group of serial murders, ever actually do that? Could they? Well, if you think yes, well, where are they getting the money for all those bombs and everything? That doesn't just come out of nowhere. Where are they getting that? How are they going to fund it? Remember, there's no tax. They got no taxes to fund it. They have to fund it themselves. And there you see where the problem lies. I mean, it's the same thing. How much could the greatest thief in the world possibly steal? Break into a jewelry store and pick the whole place dry? Yeah, sure. But how about this? Could the world's greatest thief rob you and rob your child who isn't even born yet? Could he rob you so badly that it actually will impoverish whatever your child is going to earn in the future? No, he can't do that. How would he do that? So, well, the government can. Deficit spending. They get to go into debt and then make your kid pay for it. A portion of his wealth is going to automatically go to pay that off. So you've basically stolen from people who don't even exist yet. I mean, that's how good the government is at stealing. Is actually quite impressive if you think about it. Or the world's greatest slaver. How much damage could he possibly do without a government? He could run a plantation, keep a few people as slaves, and just whip them and do all the bad stuff to them. Sure, maybe. But once again, could he enslave an entire country and make them revere him as their hero? Could he do that? No. Because here's the thing: if you in a stateless society, power is decentralized. This means your capacity, even if there is a lot of evil people in society, their capacity to do evil is limited because they have to fund it themselves. If you want to kill, you got to buy your own guns, buy your own weapons and whatever, and bear all the risks. Yeah, you could go on a shooting spree and someone could just whip out a gun and kill you, and that's it. All your efforts were for nothing. You could try stealing and you could get busted. You could try to be a slaver and your slaves could all escape. And who's going to give any sympathy for you? Nobody. So this is the big difference. when you have a stateless society, you have to, if you want to do evil, you can, but you have to bear the costs and the risks yourself. And I think that alone would give a lot of would-be evildoers pause for thought. I mean, as I've said before, could you get a war going if you had to fund it yourself, or you had to convince someone to invest in it? War is not a money maker. War is one of the biggest money dumps in existence. It only makes money if you can offload the cost of the tax base, but there is no tax base in a stateless society, so that doesn't work. Now, it's government. It's government that enables these kinds of acts of evil that are far beyond the capability of the common criminal, or even the master criminal. Like the mafia, as powerful as they can't wage wars, they can't indebt the unborn, and they can't enslave an entire populace. Despite how rich and powerful they are, they can't do these things. I'm sure many of them would want to, but they just can't, because they'd have to bear the risks of doing that themselves. So, anarchy does not require everyone to be saints. It doesn't really require anything. All it requires is that people understand that government is not the solution to evil people. And now I turn the attention to what kind of assumptions is government making? The idea is, we get these people, we give them a bunch of money and all this power, and they're going to protect us from evil people. There's a huge flaw in this plan. And that is, you're assuming that evil people are not aware of it. Statism assumes that evil people don't know about the government. That they're going to try and do bad things, the government's going to step in and stop them. They're like, oh God, I didn't know, where did this come from? Oh, I'm foiled. No, people, no. It doesn't work like that. When evil people look at the government, they say, hey, these guys get a bunch of money for free. They can wage war, and they're not held responsible for it. They can not only steal from people now, they can steal from people in the future too. And they get a gold-plated pension, and they get protected from all responsibility for it. Wow! I want in on this. How do I get in? Win an election? Sure, I'm good. I'm a bad person. I'm good at lying. And there you go. So, anarchism does not require everyone to be saints, but statism does require, at the very least, everyone in government to be saints. And is anyone going to look at the average politician today and tell me that you think these are perfectly good, moral people? Really? Yeah, I didn't think so. Oh well, that's my talk for the now. Until next time, be aware and be wise.